Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, I want this report to be about did you know? Did you know? There's some things that I think we don't know. They're just little facts that I wanted to pass on today. And one of those facts is did you know that bass, largemouth bass and smallmouth bass, were really part of the sunfish family? They're sunfish. I through my whole life, I didn't know that. Now, I'll tell you another one, which I have known my whole life, but a lot of people might not know. We talk about going fishing for walleye pike. Walleyes aren't pike. Walleyes are perch, just like yellow perch. And if you eat fish, you know that there's a big similarity, and they both are some of the best tasting fish you can eat from fresh water. But walleye pike are part of the perch family. And I thought that was something that some of you might find interesting. Another thing, we talk about trout. And did you know that brook trout are one of our only non-invasive species in the trout family in the Adirondacks or in this part of New York State? Now, I've talked about this years ago on the radio, but I think it's interesting to know. Number one, they are a true native. Rainbow trout and brown trout were not native to this area. They came in from other parts of the world. That they were brought here, and we think of them, those are the trout that we go after most of the time. And did you know that those beautiful brook trout with all the colors and spots, they're not trout? They are not trout. They are char. They are part of the Arctic char family, as are lake trout. They're not trout either. But they look like, swim like, appear like trout, so we call them trout. But, these facts are kind of interesting. I was watching a show last week. It was a show, and I watch these things because I can learn from other people. And I was watching Bill Dance, who I never watched my whole life. He's probably had the most popular TV show in history. And he's getting really up there in years. But he was fishing his lake, and he brought out some things that I never knew. Number one, that the bigger a bass gets, the faster it can swim. So basically, for every foot that a bass is, and a 2-foot bass is an awful big bass, but for every foot that they are, they can swim 7 miles an hour. So a 12-inch bass can swim 7 miles an hour. A 24-inch monster bass can swim 14 miles an hour. And I always thought that the little fish were more acrobatic and can swim faster. But in this case, with bass, the older they get, the bigger they get, the faster they can swim. Here's another interesting thing. A bass will eat anything that will fit sideways in its mouth. So a largemouth bass, they can open their mouth a long, long ways, and that's why they can take in some awful big other living things. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.